Okay, welcome to lesson 2 of topic 24, the sine and the cosine rule. So last time we looked at how to find a side using the cosine rule. Today we're going to look at how to find an angle using the cosine rule. So we're still working on this point here. Okay, so the question changes slightly. So we're looking to find the size of angle x, z, y. So we're looking for this angle here. Now you can see, I know that I need to use the cosine rule because it involves all three sides and it's a non-right angle triangle. Okay, so in that circumstance, that's when I'm going to use the cosine rule. Now before I get into how to do this, yes, we use the cosine rule, but we need to rearrange it first to make the angle the subject. So if we look at something like this, this is the cosine rule. I want to rearrange this formula to make A the subject of this, okay? Or rather cos A is what we're aiming to do. So first thing I'm looking to do is to subtract the b squared and the c squared from both sides. So I want to take away b squared and take away c squared from both sides of this equation. So that will get me a squared minus b squared minus c squared equals negative 2bc cos A. Now be careful what you do from here because we want to make cos A the subject and this negative 2 times b times c is being multiplied by this. So I can't add this over because this is all one multiplication here. So I need to divide by this particular term. So I need to divide by negative 2bc. So that then looks like this, a squared minus b squared minus c squared over negative 2bc equals cos A. Now that's the rearranged form, but we don't tend to like having a negative sign on the denominator of a fraction. So we want to get rid of that. To do that, we multiply every single thing here by negative 1. So cos A is still the subject, but you multiply everything by negative 1 here. So that becomes negative, that becomes positive, positive, positive. So we're going to rewrite that as b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. So that's the rearranged form of this formula, okay, and that's how you'll see it in textbooks. All right, you won't see it with the negative on the denominator, you'll see it like this, okay? Now, you need to make a decision as to whether you learn this proof or just learn that formula, okay? But you need to do one of them because, again, they're not going to tell you any of this in your exam. So you need to think, if I need to find an angle, I've got to use this form. Now, it may be that you just learn that form, okay? Or it may be that you learn the actual rearranging. Ultimately, you need to know this. So write that in your books and make sure you highlight it. And you can write down the rearranging if you want to. You don't have to if you're just going to learn this particular form. Okay, moving on to a question then. What we're looking at here is we've got our rearranged form of the cosine rule. We're looking for the size of the angle x, z, y, x, z, y, this one. And again, it's about making sure you label the triangle correctly first. So ignore the labels you've already got. And now the angle we're looking for here, x, or we're going to call that A, okay? Because it has to be capital A because that's the angle, which means that side has to be small a, and then these two can be B or C, it doesn't matter which way around. So again, at this point, all it is just substitution. So I'm saying cos of A is equal to B squared plus C squared, so 22 squared plus 20 squared minus 17 squared over 2 times 22 times 20. Now, typing that into your calculator gets you 119 over 176. And again, I would just do that in your calculator, okay? Now, the last bit is, how do I get the actual angle A if I know what cos A is? And think back to the work that you did on trigonometry on SOHCAHTOA. And when you were looking for an angle, you used a particular button on your calculator to undo cos, okay, the inverse of cos. And that what we did was we used the cos to the minus 1 button. So cos to the minus 1 of this will get you your answer of 47.5 degrees to three significant figures. So that would be your answer there. okay? Right, I would like you to pause the video and make sure you copy all of that down. Make sure you talk about the labelling of the sides and the angle there, okay? Now I'll show you one more example, which looks like this. Again, very similar. So all three sides are involved and we're looking for an angle, therefore it must be cosine rule. It's already rearranged for us here. So label your sides and your angles. So A is what X is there, which makes this small a. B and C, doesn't matter which way around. Substitute in, so cos of A equals 13 squared plus 9 squared minus 17 squared. All over 2 times 13 times 9. So type that into your calculator and you'll get negative a sixth. To actually work out what X is, what A is, cos to the minus 1 of negative a sixth, which gets you 99.6 degrees. Okay, so that's it for how to find an angle using the cosine rule. As I said, you might want to rewind this video and just take a few notes down, but I'd like you to try all the questions that are now in your booklet, mark them with the answers that are given, and make sure you email your teachers if you get stuck. Okay, thank you.